Hey there, Sussex Squad. Welcome back to the House of Sussex, where we update you on the latest Sussex news and dish out all the juicy gossip about the royals. How's everyone today? I hope you enjoyed this video. Please watch till the very end of this episode. Boy, we have lots to cover in this episode. Starting off with none other than Prince Harry himself. We all know that Harry wears many hats, including that of a Chief Impact Officer at Better Up. And guess what? He is expected to grace the stage at a two-day event, Better Up Summit, happening on the 10th and 11th of April. This summit is all about transforming performance through courageous leadership. A topic fit for a royal, wouldn't you say? While Harry's name is on the roster of speakers, the details about the timing of his appearance remains elusive. But fear not, if I manage to crack the code before the summit, you'll be the first to know. As for whether or not Harry's appearance will be live streamed, well, that's still up in the air. Some of the events are live streamed while others are not. Fingers crossed that his appearance is live streamed. But if not, we'll keep our eyes peeled for a post-event video. I had a quick look at the agenda for the summit. It's actually quite interesting. Whether you're a big shot business owner or just climbing the corporate ladder, you can find something that will be of use to you. Hopefully, we can all try and check out the summit, at least those that are live streamed. And let's support our Ginger Avenger. Next, our Madam Duchess. Oh, I love that name for her. She was coined that title during one of their visits to New York. Anyway, Princess Meghan paid a visit to a children's hospital in LA. For those into fashion, she was wearing an Oscar de la Renta silk chiffon landscape shirt dress. That's a mouthful, don't you think? Anyway, she paired it with a pair of pointed love affair black pump with delicate straps by an Italian designer, Aquazzura. She looked beautiful, don't you think? Well, she always does, so no surprise there. If the look is familiar to you, it's because we have seen this shirt dress in one of the pictures that were shown in Harry and Meghan's docuseries. Meghan read very animatedly to the kids. I have a quick audio of Meghan reading to the kids.
This is one of my favorites. Her great-great-aunt Rose was a true dynamo who'd worked building airplanes a long time ago. That night, as Rosie lay wide-eyed in bed, a daring idea crept into her head. Did you know that cheddar cheese spray keeps the snakes away? Wow. I didn't know that. She turned around to leave, but then great-grand-aunt Rose grabbed hold of her. Isn't that a great one? It's such a great book. Playing another one like, oh, that's right, 3. It says 3, 4. Dolphin rolled away. Well, now how many buttons are left? 1. Exactly right. 2. Oh no! The last button popped off and it rolled away. Friends, how many buttons are left? You're right. 0. My 2 groovy buttons. My buttons. My buttons. My 2 groovy buttons.
The kids had a ball. They were very involved and participated enthusiastically, laughing and singing along. Because these are some seriously ill kids, Meghan and the other visitors had to wear face masks to protect the kids. The video of this is so heartwarming because you can just tell how courageous those kids are. Meghan actually visited the hospital the day before Kate's cancer announcement. I suspect that it was probably the hospital's idea to put a lid on releasing those pictures until after the dust settles. Actually, thinking about it, it's likely to be advice from Harry and Meghan. Who knows? What do you guys think? Were the release of the pictures delayed because of the hospital or because of Harry and Meghan? I am sure that Harry and Meghan did not want to be accused of overshadowing Kate. We all know how the media, and the royal family for that matter, are in regards to being overshadowed. The press will be quite happy to turn this Kate cancer announcement into a Harry and Meghan versus Kate and William saga. The kids' visit and Kate's cancer announcement will all be both overshadowed, and we'll have to make it, and they will make it all about Harry and Meghan. Hearing the joys from the kids, oh, you'll think that everyone will be very happy with Meghan's visit to the children's hospital, but not true. The Rangers were out in force, crying and complaining as usual. We, the Sussex squad, are not surprised, although it's quite sad. At this point, Harry and Meghan, but especially Meghan, could create a cure for cancer, but the Rangers will still cry and complain. Let me help them out with their crying. Oh my goodness me, I'm so sorry. If you had to listen to me pretend crying to be a deranger, I apologize. I just had to do it. These derangers, they're crazy. But anyway, there'll be no more crying, I promise. The derangers are crazy, aren't they? Oh my goodness. Meghan was there to highlight and raise awareness for the hospital's campaign. Of course, it's best to bring a camera with her. Well, hello. Hello. What can we say? I think they use their crying about Harry and Meghan as therapy because it's the only thing that could explain all their complaints and cries. It's funny because we call them derangers, but the name fit them so well because they are truly deranged. Look at all these articles written about Meghan's visit to the hospital. She certainly achieved her aims of raising awareness. Let's have a quick interlude. Can I please use this opportunity to ask those who are watching but are not subscribed to please subscribe. Also, please don't forget to like, share and comment. Thank you for watching up to this point. We have still more to come, so please continue to watch and watch till the end. All your love and support are much appreciated, so a big thank you. During this interlude, I would like to introduce you to Isabella Banks. She's another Sussex-friendly channel on YouTube. We are trying to build a community of Sussex supporters in order to effectively challenge the derangers, the media and the full weight of the system behind the royal family that are targeting Harry and Meghan. Anyway, please check her out and subscribe to her channel. I will put a link to her channel in my description box below. Tell her the House of Sussex sent you. In the next interlude, we would like to find out why this antique expert refused to value this antique bangle. If you know the answer, put it in the comment box now and we'll see if you're right when we get there. Right, back to our regular schedule. Let's unpack the royal mystery surrounding King Charles's recent Easter service attendance. When I initially saw a video of King Charles and Camilla entering the church, I thought, oh, King Charles was holding up quite well. But then I saw a couple of pictures, well, close-up pictures, and he looks quite frail. It got me raising an eyebrow or two. He looks quite ill to me, but is it just me? It got me pondering, why was he even at that Easter service? It's not for religious reasons, because the royal palaces have numerous chapels and they could easily have arranged a priest to hold a private service for him. It is certainly done for the sake of the PR. Well, PR has a very negative connotations, but I mean it in the sense that he wants the public to know that the works of the royal family still continues. I think that he's under a lot of pressure to reassure the public, especially since Prince William appears hesitant to step up to the plate. For William, we are not even asking him to pick up extra slack, as he is unwilling to even show up for his own share of royal duties. With Harry and Meghan gone and William and Kate absent, They don't really have anyone interesting to be the face of the monarchy. Prior to his church attendance, there were all these articles swirling around that because King Charles is immunocompromised, he will be seated separately from the church congregation for his own safety. I didn't see any pictures or videos of the seating arrangements inside the church. Does anyone know if he was seated separately? Is it a coincidence that we do not have any pictures or videos from inside the church like we normally do? Well, maybe the pictures were released, but I looked and couldn't find any. If you guys have seen the pictures, please send them to me. To add to the mystery, King Charles and Camilla went on a walkabout after the service. Charles did not have any face masks or gloves. I know King Charles probably has the best medical advisors that money can buy at his beck and call. But what's the deal here? Are we to believe that he's invincible against infections like COVID or even the common flu? Or did King Charles simply brush off their advice? This is a sort of mystery that makes social media abuzz with speculations about what Buckingham Palace is or isn't telling us. Let's not forget about the claim from Carol Malone, where she stated that she knows that King Charles does not have cancer. Listen to this audio of Carol saying that he doesn't have cancer, she knows what he has, but she can't say.
He didn't tell us what cancer he has.
No, he did. Well, he didn't. He doesn't have cancer. Well, he didn't. He doesn't have cancer. Well, he didn't. He doesn't have cancer. Well, he didn't. He doesn't have cancer.
He didn't tell us what cancer he has.
No, he did. Well, he didn't. He doesn't have cancer. But what he had was he was having a prostate procedure.
Yeah, his cancer.
He let it be known that I don't know if it is cancer.
No,
He had an enlarged
I don't think
prostate.
it's an enlarged prostate.
He had a prostate test.
Yes.
The prostate was fine.
Yes.
But he was diagnosed with cancer of another part.
What?
Okay, so
I kinda
we don't know what part that.
I can't say what it is but I know. But anyway.
Talk about adding fuel to the fire. If these same statements were made by the Sussex squad, the media will threaten to close down social media for spreading conspiracy theories. But here is Carol Malone. Oh, not Carol Middleton. Hello. But here is Carol Malone, one of the royal rats, or an insider, or a friend. You know what? I don't really care. She is spilling her guts out. There's hardly any mention in the media. So, is King Charles immunosuppressed due to his chemo treatment, warranting a separate seat at the church service? Or was Carol's claims accurate, implying that King Charles is as fit as a fiddle for walkabouts without protective gear? Buckingham Palace, we are all ears for your clarifications on this confusing saga. Well, the mystery has deepened. There are now reports that King Charles is preparing for a 2-week tour of Australia. Yes, you heard it right. The 75-year-old king with cancer, undergoing a grueling chemo treatment, is preparing for an equally grueling 2 weeks international tour. Am I mistaken? But I thought that Australian tour was designated for William and Kate. Is there a reason that William could not go on this tour by himself? I know, it was supposed to be for him and Kate, but Harry had been to international tours alone, so there are no reasons why William could not go on this tour alone. You would think Prince William would jump at this opportunity. William has been competing with Prince Harry for years for the spotlight. This tour presents a great opportunity for him to grab that limelight, become the statesman that we are told he wants to be, and for once his whole entire life, make this country proud. I wish the press were not so corrupted. These are the type of roles they should be pushing William towards as a future king. All this understanding for Prince William's absence is insane. How is it accepted that Prince William is doing less work than his father, who is 75 years of age, has cancer and is going through chemo? Isn't it time that William steps up? He should be able to do his share of royal duties as well as pick up some slacks. Do you think William is running away from this Australian tour because of his and Kate's disastrous and charmless, or was it called charm offensive, Oh my goodness. Their charm offensive Caribbean tour has put them off. I think the tour had scarred them. Not just scared, but they're scarred. Or maybe it's the Foreign Office that just simply cannot trust William with any more international tours. It's hard to tell if William is running away from the tour because of the Caribbean tour or because work-shy Will is running away from doing any work. What do you guys think? Is it being work-shy or is it scarred because of the Caribbean tour? Or is the Foreign Office not allowing him anywhere near an international tour? Tell me what you think in the comment section. Just to be clear, and for avoidance of doubt, I am not questioning whether King Charles has cancer. I believe he has cancer. He told us he has cancer, and we have to believe him. I am merely pointing out the contradictory statements and actions coming out from Buckingham Palace and their royal friends. These conflicting events could lead the public to quite rightly question or speculate about the true nature of his health as head of state. Let's have our second interlude. Can I please use this opportunity to ask you to subscribe if you have not yet subscribed? Like, comment, and share. Thank you for watching up to this point. We have still more to come, so please continue to watch till the very end. Thank you. The answer to my teaser earlier, why did the antique experts refuse to value that bangle? Well, he was disgusted with the item because it was a slavery memorabilia. A bit of background, a guest brought the bangle to a TV show called The Antique Roadshow, where antiques are valued by experts. This bangle was brought to Ronnie, I think his name is, an antique expert for valuing. Ronnie, almost filled with tears, said that I want to make it absolutely clear that myself and we at the Antique Roadshow wholly and unequivocally disapprove of the trade in ivory. He continued, but this ivory bangle here is not about trading in ivory. It's about trading in human life. It's probably one of the most difficult things that I've ever had to talk about. But talk about it we must. This object is a testament to the callous trade of the 17th, 18th, and 19th century. The guest claimed not to know that the bangle was a slavery memorabilia. There is a bit more information about the bangle in the article, so if you are interested, please read the article. If I remember, I will try to add a link to the article in the description box below. Sidestepping the guest but using her as a reference point, there are those who collect these racist memorabilia, either connected to slavery, Jim Crow, or the Moors. I think some racists use these memorabilia to indirectly partake in the society when these items were made. I don't know, but I think it must give them some joy to remember just how inhumane black people were treated. This actually reminds me of the picture hanging at William and Kate's Kensington Palace, which they were very happy to see every day, but were somehow ashamed when President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama visited them. The news articles were awash with claims that they had strategically placed a lamp to cover the word Negro and to obstruct the view of the painting when the Obamas were there. It begs the question, if you know the painting is rude, racist, or inappropriate, why have it in your house in the first place? Especially as a future king, who should be representing every ethnicity and race in the country. Also, do you remember how Princess Markle of Kent, or Princess Pushy as she's fondly known, welcomed Meghan Markle into the family by wearing that blackamoor brooch on her first meeting with Meghan Markle? That brooch is deemed racist by most people. Meghan later said that she felt a way about it. Princess Pushy was forced to apologize to Meghan and agreed to retire the brooch. Imagine how Meghan was feeling. All the racism outside the palace walls, plus the racism from inside the palace walls. I am amazed that she was able to leave that prison with her faculties intact. Okay, moving on. Back to the royal mess. It appears that Getty, The Visual Image Agency has now slapped an editorial note on Kate Middleton's cancer announcement video. The note notifies everyone that they have not independently verified that the video is real or that it's free from AI. It also warns everyone that there is a possibility that video does not comply with their editorial policy. Well, well, well. How far has Kensington Palace fallen? Even a video on a serious topic of cancer is now open to questioning. When the news agencies came out and said that Kensington Palace is to be treated in terms of their trustworthiness as North Korea or Iran, they meant it. I can't remember any other time in history a video, especially on a serious topic such as cancer, from one of the palaces had an editorial note. Well, they can't blame Getty, because we know that Kensington Palace have been playing far too much. We know there are critical mass of people online dissecting and analysing that cancer video to see if it's real. We even have UNN, I think it's a media organisation, sending a freedom of information request to the BBC as the BBC had filmed that cancer video. They are seeking a confirmation of whether or not AI was used in any part of that video. The BBC has 20 working days from the date they received the request to respond. They are all eagerly waiting for their response. Whether they will respond is a different matter altogether. The Freedom of Information Act, which is the law that the request is based off, the royal family are exempt from. However, because the request went to the BBC, I think the BBC has a duty to respond under the Freedom of Information Act. Whether they will find a loophole in the Act because it's royal-related content, we'll have to see. Moving on. So I have been on William's back for his lack of work ethics recently. It has got me wondering if I'm being unfair to William. Should I be more understanding of his situation? To help me arrive at that answer, I have decided to compare his work ethics to that of Camilla in the last 3 to 4 months. Since they are both senior royals and understand the unique challenges, or so they claim, of being a senior royal. They've also both had their respective spouses recently diagnosed with undisclosed cancer in very similar circumstances. So how do they compare? Let's start with their age. Camilla is 72 years of age and William is 42. So William has an advantage in terms of age. Being 30 years younger than Camilla, you will expect William to be working more or equal to the same amount of work Camilla does. Let's compare whether they are carrying out their royal duties to the same degree. Camilla has managed to carry out her royal duties to the same degree. William, on the other hand, has not. He is barely carrying out his usual royal duties. At this rate, he may be carrying out about 1 royal duty a month. Due to King Charles and Kate's absence, there is a need for the remaining working royals to pick up the slack. Camilla, according to news reports, have been picking up the slack. Camilla has been stepping up for Charles in situation that you may expect that William would have been the one to step up as the future king. As an example, the Monday service, where the monarch usually give out money to the people. However, it was Camilla rather than William who stepped up. As mentioned before, William is not even doing his usual level of royal duties, let alone picking up extra slacks. Okay, based on the information we have, how have they been faring in terms of caring for their sick spouse? King Charles was in hospital for 3 days for surgery. In that 3 days, Camilla visited him 5 times. On the day of his surgery, Camilla actually visited Charles 3 times that same day. Kate was reported to be in hospital for 2 weeks. In that time, William was seen visiting Kate once and stayed for less than 1 hour. With the media covering all the entrances of the hospitals, they were able to capture all of Camilla's visits, but no one, absolutely no one, saw William on more than that one occasion visiting Kate. Not the public, not the staff, not the media. This is for those who may argue that he went there every day and he just used a different entrance. He didn't. It's not like he can just slip in and out. He needs police protection and outriders, so even on the street near the hospital, someone would have spotted William. It's worse because the reason given for William's absence from royal duties is so that he can look after Kate. That 2 weeks in hospital was a perfect opportunity for him to play the doting husband, but that was even too much for him. On the last thing, cancer announcement. King Charles announced his cancer diagnosis through Buckingham Palace notice board. And soon after, we saw a picture of Camilla and Charles walking. Charles appeared to be in deep thought, but Camilla was there as a support. Kate filmed her announcement video. William was not anywhere in the video as a supporting husband. We are now learning that William was not even in the vicinity that the announcement was filmed. What other role was greater than William being there for Kate during what would have been a very difficult video to film? They have plenty of staff to pick up the kids if that was going to be his excuse. Also, let's not forget, far from us seeing any evidence that William is supporting Kate, we saw the opposite. William had thrown Kate under the bus for that Mother's Day fake photo scandal. Anyway, from my comparisons, William falls very short. Camilla is doing much more than him. Even Charles, who himself has cancer, going through what is often grueling chemo treatment, is doing more than William. I am sorry, but Yorkshire Will is still very much present with us. But you be the judge. Please tell me in the comments who came on top. I didn't believe there would be a day that I take Camilla's side on any issues against William. On this issue, Camilla is 1000% better than William. What's interesting is that the nature of royal work is that engagements could last for an hour for each day. There are 24 hours in a day. William could easily step away from his lies about looking after Kate to attend 1 hour royal engagements each day and still have the remaining 23 hours of the day to fake care for Kate. Anyway, moving on. I saw this article that is a pure propaganda piece for Prince William, written by Charlotte Griffiths. She is trying to justify why a grown man who is work shy and already has 60 plus staff to help him with the work that he doesn't do needs an additional staff, this time a valet or a butler. They seem to be using it interchangeably. So anyway, let's get into the article. The title reads, William gets his very own Jeeves. Let's hope that he is less controversial than Charles's valet and Diana's butler. Who was Charles's valet? It's not one of the bees, flies and wasps, is it? Oh. It could be that guy that Charles keeps firing and hiring back, because apparently Charles could not live without him. Anyway, I don't remember his name. If you know his name, please put it down in the comment section. Well, we do know who Diana's butler was, Mr. Paul Burrell. Anyway, the article continues. Aides have encouraged William to ease the burdens of royalty by having a butler. Just to sidetrack a little bit, can someone please tell me what the burdens of royalty is, and how would having a butler help with this burden? They play far too much in our faces. What other area of work can you disappear like William has for the last 3 to 4 months without any real impact on the institution? William's absence has only solidified what we already know. Royalty has no real impact and they don't do much. So, the firm, as the royal family likes to call itself, in recent times has lost Harry, Meghan, Queen Elizabeth, Prince Philip, Andrew, Kate, William, and to some extent Charles. But we don't notice any major impact of all these losses. This article, however, is trying to convince us that William has burdens of royalty that his existing 60-plus staff are unable to cope with. What are the 60 existing staff doing now that William has not been working for the last 3 to 4 months? Are they just getting paid to sit in their houses having cups of tea? Anyway, back to the article. William was resisting having a valet because he has always said that he's a man of his generation and can put on his own pants. So this new valet or butler is solely there to dress William because the burdens of royalty makes it hard for him to put on his own pants. The article continues. The butler, whose job title is yeoman, is a sweetheart. Altogether, he is straight down the line, not a hipster, but an absolute puppet. Well, you heard it here first. We all now know why William's team are so incompetent. Just see how they have mismanaged this Kate Illness's PR. You can't blame the team though. It seems like William likes puppets. Further down the line, the article says that William used to dress himself and do everything else for himself too. Well, congratulations. Well done for being an adult. Let's all clap for William. He used to dress himself. This propaganda piece for William continues. William was forced to hire the valet. This writer is trying to tell us that it was not William's decision. If left to William, he will continue to dress himself, but he was forced. I wonder who forced the heir to the throne to hire a valet. The funny thing about this article is they don't see just how diminishing it makes William look in people's eyes. William, who told us that he wants to be a statesman, solve homelessness and bring peace to the Middle East, was forced to hire a butler. Presumably it was his aides that forced him, so his servants forced him. Can we please ask whoever forced William to hire a butler to please force him to return back to work? The role for this butler is simply to lay out William's clothes and dress him. A job like this, where your duties are mainly to dress William, makes a mockery of the education system in the UK. Most of these royal aides have university degrees. What does this say about the value of your degree if your main duties are to lay out William's clothes and to help him put it on? This is apparently a lucrative role. Damn that engineering degree you've got. You won't be using any of it. I just want you to be my puppet. Okay guys, let's take our third and final interlude. I found out that 2 out of the 3 people that bullied Meghan Markle on Celebrity Big Brother House were paid nearly £1 million for the honour. So that's £1 million each. If you remember, I had put out a video showing 3 people from the Celebrity Big Brother house that were trashing Meghan. The 3 people were Sharon Osbourne, Louis Walsh and Fern Britton. I will play a short audio of them bullying Meghan.
And wearing the iconic engagement ring.
Can you, bless you, can you imagine if that had gone to Meghan? Oh my God.
Does anybody like that girl?
What?
Does anybody like her? Apart from Harry. Does anybody else like her?
She's mysterious. I would love, you see, I want to be able to believe what I see, that pretty face and a mother and loving her husband. But there's also, perhaps, I feel, that manipulation behind all of that.
I know, Sharon, you feel that, don't you?
Very much so. Very much so. I think it's all put on. I think she's acting the whole time.
She's a bad actress, yeah.
I just want Harry and the children to be happy.
Seriously?
That was disgusting. It turns out that Sharon Osbourne was paid £100,000 for each day she stayed in the Celebrity Big Brother house. She stayed for 9 days, bagging £900,000. Almost £1 million, guys, for 9 days. Not sure what that is in dollars, but I am sure it's more than $1 million. Louis Walsh also earned £850,000. Again, that's more than $1 million. When you hear these people talking about working hard or pulling yourself by the bootstrap, Please know that that is a con. Of course, I encourage hard work, but hard work is not the only ingredient to success. I don't see what hard work Sharon or Louis did in that Big Brother house to earn over $1 million. The system, by design, means that some people get paid handsomely for doing very little, little in terms of the work involved, little in terms of the effort involved, and little in terms of its value. Louis Walsh, a guy that I suspect is old enough to be Meghan's grandfather, spent a lot of his time on Celebrity Big Brother bad-mouthing people, and of course bad-mouthing Meghan. It tells you that money cannot buy you class or happiness. Even with all that money they earned, they are still miserable. Look at them and look at Meghan. Some of that bullying can be attributed to jealousy. Other parts because they are vicious. As for the third bully, Fern Britton, I don't know how much she earned for her stint. Anyway, thank God that's over. Good riddance to bad rubbish, I say. Back to our regular schedule. It seems that the media are trying very hard to find a way to pin Kate's cancer on Harry and Meghan. I will connect the dots for you later on for you to be able to see how they're attempting to pin this Kate's cancer to Harry and Meghan. Let's look at this article. The article is claiming that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's actions contribute to Kate Middleton's terrible mental health. Let's analyze this rubbish. Who told the author of this article, the writer of this article, that Kate had terrible mental health? As far as I'm aware, it has not been announced by Kensington Palace that Kate's mental health is terrible. The only current ill health that we are told about is her cancer and abdominal surgery. It seems that the royal rats are the ones that begin these stories. When members of the public or the Sussex squad pick up these stories, we are accused of peddling conspiracy theories. They will then use it as an opportunity to promote limiting our freedoms by closing down social media. Do you see how these royal rats are agents? Even if we are to accept that Kate has terrible mental health, is it not likely to be because she has cancer? On balance of probability, the cancer is likely to cause her a greater damage to her mental health than Harry and Meghan. If you want to open up a dialogue on mental health, it's best to tackle it in a genuine way. This could have been a great article for discussing the impact of cancer diagnosis on people's mental health. Instead, the article sidesteps important discussions just to be salacious. I would like to know what exactly the article is claiming that Harry and Meghan did to Kate to contribute to her terrible mental health. Harry and Meghan were chased out of the UK 4 years ago by William and Kate and their puppet media machines. So even if Harry and Meghan had done something to Kate, which we know is the reverse, they have now moved to a totally different continent. By virtue of them moving and having no contact, Kate's mental health should be improving, not getting worse. But let's really discuss what's really going on in this article. This is another attempt by William and Kate, by their media proxy, to continue to bully Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan are keeping themselves quiet and minding the business that pays them very well. But these rejects keeps dragging Harry and Meghan's name into issues that has nothing to do with them. Royal rats, give it up. Harry and Meghan are not coming back. You are sore losers. But the reality is that it was Harry and Meghan that were bullied to the extent that they had to run for their lives. They packed up and ran out of the country. So how are they trying to pin Kate's cancer on Harry and Meghan, I hear you ask? It starts with an article like this, claiming that Harry and Meghan caused Kate's terrible mental health. Then they will soon put out another article about how Kate's terrible mental health had caused their stress. They will be able to finally pin the cancer on Harry and Meghan by claiming that the stress is what caused Kate's cancer. We at Sussex Squad already know how this Prince William's puppet, aka the press, operates. Mark my word. I saw this article and thought, oh, I will use this as an opportunity to warn Harry. Not that he listens to my podcast. The article says that the royal family could be put in a difficult situation if Prince Harry brings the Invictus Game to UK in 2027. I'm going to ignore that nonsense about royal tensions because Harry and Meghan breathing causes them royal tensions. What I want to do is to ask Harry to please do not bring Invictus Game to the UK. Why, I hear you ask? They will destroy the Invictus Games in the UK. They will write all sorts of negative articles interviewing everyone, those associated with Invictus Games and those that are not associated, just to find someone that is willing to badmouth Invictus Games on camera. They will find a way of destroying the image of Invictus Games. We know that William is very jealous of Harry's success with Invictus Game. It's part of the reason he came off with the ridiculous aim of being a statesman, abolishing homelessness and bringing peace to the Middle East. He sees the accolades that Harry gets with the Invictus Games and he wants the same, but he has not achieved anything to get the same accolades. So based on his jealousy, he will be more than happy to destroy Invictus Games for Harry. That's all my warning on this. Moving on, this article claims that it's Prince Harry and Meghan Markle that must apologize to Kate first in order to heal the rift, says experts. Who are these experts? How did you get your expertise? What are your qualifications? Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me your qualifications. Show me your qualifications. Anyway, moving on. Otherwise, I am also now claiming to be an expert. As an expert, I say that, like Harry said, they will need to apologize to Harry and Meghan first. If they apologize, which I don't ever see, Harry and Meghan should not trust them anyway. Why do they want an apology only for Kate? Why would they want Harry and Meghan to apologize to their bullies? William, Kate and their media proxies bullied Harry and Meghan out of the country. Since when do we promote that those bullied should apologize to their bullies? Because that's what it will amount to if Harry and Meghan apologized to William and Kate. Harry and Meghan cannot apologize for speaking out against the abuse they suffered or against their bullies. The audacity of it all. Ironically, Charles Spencer, Princess Diana's older brother, uncle to Prince Harry and Prince William, just wrote a memoir detailing the abuses he faced in the institution that was his boarding school. He was widely applauded and praised in the media for speaking out. However, when Harry's book, Despair, details the many abuses him and Meghan faced in the royal institution, the same media tells him not to wash his dirty linen in public and that he must apologize for outing his bullies. Further down the article, we are learning that the comment about Kate's terrible mental health is attributed to royal rat Richard Eden. This is the same Richard Eden that has just been sent some dog food and some other dog-related products from James Middleton, Kate Middleton's brother. I'm starting to believe that this is the way that the Middletons keep the royal rats on side. Throw them dog's bones here and there and they'll become your attack dogs. Also interesting is that those close to the Middletons are the ones peddling that Kate has terrible mental health. I am convinced that all these so-called conspiracy theories and speculations were first started by those closest to the royals and the Middletons. For example, Carol Malone and Richard Eden. Moving on. Tell me that you are in a loveless marriage without telling me that you are in a loveless marriage. Look at this article. Reads very toxic to me. Anyway, the article claims that Meghan Markle holding hands with Prince Harry during royal engagement was given red flags for Meghan. So let me understand this. Harry and Meghan, when they were newly married and were holding hands, which they describe as clinging on to Harry, is a red flag. But get this, the red flag is not for both of them, it's only for the woman. Meghan, sounds sexist to you? I don't really know what's going on in other people's marriages, because if you think that holding your husband's hand is red flags, that just tells me that you must be miserable in your marriage. Is it that the writer's husbands or partners do not hold their hands? If holding your husband's hand is what's given red flags, then I want to have more red flags. Must have been a very slow news day to write that garbage about red flags. It seems the UK press are giving Harry and Meghan free and unsolicited advice about how they can improve their popularity, because apparently the UK media really wants Harry and Meghan to become even more popular. The advice to Harry and Meghan on how to improve their popularity is that they should tone down their lavish lifestyle. Oh yes. I wonder which part of their lifestyle they think is lavish. My best bet is their Montecito mansion. You know that they prayed really hard for Harry and Meghan's downfall so that Harry and Meghan could run back to UK begging Charles and William to accept them back into the royal fold. If you see some of the cartoons that were created when Harry and Meghan first left, you will understand just what they had planned for them. I saw a cartoon where Harry was working on the tills at McDonald's. I saw another cartoon where Harry and Meghan were homeless and they were approaching one of the palace gates. A guard standing in front of the palace gate notices and recognizes Harry and shouts out, "Harry!" In those two examples, they thought that Harry and Meghan would become destitute and homeless. They never foresaw their success because it has never really happened before. When Queen Elizabeth's uncle, Edward VIII, abdicated his throne to marry his wife, the American divorcee Wallis Simpson, he was still very much dependent on the royal family for much of his income. You also have to remember that there's so many similarities between Harry and Meghan and Edward and Wallis. Being that Wallis and Meghan were both Americans and both divorcees, Edward and Harry both gave up on royal life for love. So when they heard of all these Netflix and all the other projects that Harry and Meghan had, the royal family as well as the British media tried their very best to ruin them. When Harry and Meghan finally bought that mansion, it dawned on them that Harry was not coming back. Their Montecito mansion represents so many pain points for them. One of the things that the mansion represents is financial freedom for Harry and Meghan. Say it this way, in the royal family, as this pair, Harry will be allowed to lease a house or an apartment, but he can never truly own it. Harry and Meghan could never pass those properties down to their children, like we saw with the Frogmore cottage and what they attempted to do to Andrew. At any time they are upset with you or you don't toe the line, they can evict you from your home, downgrade you, leak it to the media to further humiliate you as a way to force you under their control. They can't do that with Harry and Meghan. Whatever happens, the royal family cannot control Harry and Meghan through their accommodation or money. This is why they are trying their best to ruin Harry and Meghan's business projects. Moving on, I saw this article and it really intrigued me. Tell me what you think. It says that King Charles is extremely concerned about Princess Kate amidst cancer diagnosis, royal author says. The article caught my eye because why would a 75-year-old king who is himself suffering from cancer and is going through chemo be extremely concerned about Kate? It's not just concern, but extreme concern, unless Kate's cancer is way worse. Perhaps the prognosis is not good, or the staging is further, as in it was caught later, or it is very aggressive cancer. Anyway, tell me what you think. I saw it and I thought, ooh. So this is it. If you have made it to this point, you are the real MVP. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support and love. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Please also like, share and comment. I will see you next time on the House of Sussex.